COVID-19 created an unprecedented challenge for our ministry in 2020, but it also highlighted really how important partnerships are in fulfilling our mission. And we often talk about the fact that our heartbeat in our mission is bringing people together to build homes, communities, and hope. And a church that has responded to that call for over 20 years is Meridian Street United Methodist Church. Their financial, their volunteer contributions have made a huge impact on our ability to get our mission done. So this is why we're really privileged to provide you the 2020 Church Legacy Partnership of the Year.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
On behalf of the church, thank you.
Oftentimes when we engage in partnerships, our mission aligns. I'm curious, how do you feel like the Habitat mission really aligns with what you do missionally as a church?
Well, we've got, and have had for most of our history, going on 200 years now, a strong mission to address what we feel is a growing, unfortunately, need in this city, is to address affordable and quality housing.
Yeah, and we appreciate the fact that you recognize it in the mission of what you do and then connecting as a partner with us. I'm curious too, so what do you think some of the volunteers, since you've had such a great outpouring of volunteers from your church, what do you think they look forward to when they get to partner alongside the families and with our mission?
I just find the fun. I mean, I've partnered with you and come out on some of the projects, and it's just always a joy to be able to share in that with other people from the church, but other people in the community, to share in a common project making a difference for a family, particularly, that we get to meet and get to know and can see the difference we're making in their life.
Yeah. With 2020 and the interruption that COVID was for so many of us, and we're so incredibly grateful for how you've helped us in that space. What other things has the church been involved with to help sort of provide during that tough time that 2020 created?
Maybe Mary wants to share some of that.
Sure. We, as Phil mentioned, housing has certainly been a concern of the church. And I would actually just say that what that comes down to is this idea of, we believe we're called to love God and love neighbor, right? So how do you love your neighbor if your neighbor doesn't have housing?
Right.
So Habitat for Humanity has been a great partner. We also have a longtime partnership with Family Promise here in Indianapolis, and have supported them through being a host church and financial and volunteer resources. During this past year, one of the realities also was folks facing increasing economic insecurity and risking eviction. So we intentionally started partnering with our community center here in the neighborhood, the MLK Center. Yeah. They stepped up in huge ways this past year just to provide emergency assistance for families in the hopes that we could stop them from becoming unhoused. Right? And so that was a key partner. I would also say safe homes are an issue. So our church has a history of partnering with Coburn Place and the Domestic Violence Network. Other groups like that, just to ensure that not only people have physical shelter, but it's actually a safe place for their families to be.
Yeah, I mean, what I hear in there is understanding the place that home and stability of home is and so vital. And obviously last year it highlighted that, but you see it from the whole continuum. And so what a great way for the church to engage in that full housing continuum.
Yeah, absolutely. And, and then one of the things I think that happened this past year in this congregation is a number of our folks, I think, became increasingly aware of just some of the inherent justice issues around housing. Not only like how can we build a house for somebody who needs a home, but why is it that that's where they're at in the first place? Right. So we have a group of folks now in the church that are increasingly invested in housing justice issues about, what is our legislation here in the state of Indiana and how does it relate to ensuring that the basic need of housing is the right for all people.
Yeah, I love that learning part and the spirit of the church as well, that you see something and not only engage in it directly, but also learning. So. Yeah. So grateful for our partnership, and I can't wait to see you continue in the
We
future.
look forward to many,
Yeah.
many years
Great.
of continuing work with Habitat
Yeah,
and making a difference here in Indianapolis and throughout the area.
thank you so much.
Thank you.